Hello, and welcome to our Study in Canada presentation. My name is Lydia, and I'm part of the recruitment team at the University of Toronto. Today, we'll cover some of the reasons why more and more international students every year choose Canada as their primary destination for post-secondary studies. One of the main reasons why international students choose Canada as a destination to pursue their post-secondary education is because of the nation's highly recognized quality of life. We're a welcoming country, and we embrace the diversity and multiculturalism of everyone who lives here. Canada consistently ranks among the best countries in the world for our safety, economic and political stability, healthcare system, and importantly, our education system. All of this makes us a welcome destination for international students. Other notable features of Canada include the diverse landscapes and community options for students, with everything from urban to rural. Canada is a large country, so it can take up to 6 hours to fly from Vancouver on the west coast to Halifax on the east coast, which means there's lots to explore as a student. And we have major metropolitan cities mixed in with beautiful geography from the Rocky Mountains and Canadian prairies to our 3 ocean coastlines. Canada covers a wide variety of geography to suit whatever you're looking for. And yes, there are 4 seasons of weather for most parts of Canada, which means beautiful, hot, sunny weather in the summer and some cold and snowy temperatures in the winter, with everything in between. As I mentioned, the quality of our education system is another reason why international students choose Canada to study. The majority of our post-secondary institutions are public, and according to the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, Canada is one of only a handful of countries with above-average spending for education, and specifically post-secondary education, where we spend more than 2% of our GDP. Because of this, we can ensure that our 96 public universities and 127 public colleges offer the highest quality of education to our students. For this session, we'll focus specifically on our public universities. And Canadian university degrees are well recognized internationally. Many of our universities consistently appear in the top 50, top 100, and top 200 of universities around the world. And our graduates are well represented at top graduate schools and professional programs around the world. All to say, you can be assured that your Canadian degrees will be all well recognized. Another enticing aspect of studying in Canada is that students are not restricted to a particular pathway. Once a student gets to university, there's a lot of flexibility in the types of courses and programs they can choose to study. Students can combine different programs together in one degree, and the nice part is that they don't have to choose their programs right away. Students usually have at least 1 full year to determine which specific majors or minors they'd like to pursue. And the degrees are rigorous, as students are coming in with a high-level standard of education. Canadian secondary education curriculum is standardized in each province, which means students are well prepared in specific prerequisite courses for successful advancement in university. The equivalent of this is considered for anyone applying from outside of Canada. So, for example, students looking to study business are expected to have strong competency in math, and students interested in science or engineering should also have strong competency in the physical sciences. This means that students will typically have 1 year of pre-calculus and 1 year of calculus for business, plus 2 years of physics and 2 years of chemistry in high school, especially for those science and engineering programs. Now, hands-on learning is one of the most popular aspects of Canadian post-secondary education, and many institutions offer different ways for students to gain valuable experience while they're studying. These include paid or for-credit work opportunities that are related to a student's degree program, as well as undergraduate research opportunities and study abroad programs. International students are also able to work part-time while studying, and graduates of Canadian institutions are eligible to apply for a postgraduate work permit, which allows them to stay in Canada for up to 3 years after graduation. I mentioned how welcoming Canada is, and as a student, part of that stems from the experience on campus. There are many ways for students to get involved and build a community, whether that's through relationships formed in residence, leadership opportunities, and clubs and organizations. Universities also offer student support, from academic advising, accessibility services, career centers, health and wellness services, and more. So as a student, you can be assured that we have many safety mechanisms in place on our campuses to ensure your well-being. Now, Canada has also been recognized as offering a high-quality education at an affordable cost, especially compared to other countries around the world. Here are the average costs of tuition and university fees. Students should also factor in the cost of living on or off campus, as well as books, travel, and other miscellaneous costs. While this is the average cost across Canada, these may vary significantly by institution and program of study, so it's best to check with each university directly. Scholarships and awards are also generally available across Canadian universities, and they are typically based on academic merit, though you may find a few scholarship opportunities that require a supplemental application. These could be great opportunities for you to highlight your extracurricular activities or why you might be a good fit for a university. And as a public university system, you may find there are very limited, if any, opportunities for financial aid for international students. And this will vary greatly by institution. So we really encourage you to explore each university to get a sense of all the funding options available to you as an international student. So if you're interested in applying to Canadian universities, the most important thing to know is that the application process to our institutions is quite straightforward. It's usually completed in a two-step process, and the first step is to submit a relatively quick online application, and the second step is to submit your transcripts and any additional information that's required. For most schools in Canada, you can apply directly to the institution, but many of us are on our own version of a common application. For example, if you're applying to multiple universities in the province of Ontario, you can use the Ontario Universities Application Centre, or OUAC. This allows you to apply to several universities all at once. Similarly, if you're applying to universities in British Columbia, you may use Education Planner BC to submit your application. And in most cases, we'll mainly consider a student's academic performance for admission. More specifically, we'll look for students' transcripts and their final 2 years of high school. We'll ask students to submit final results from previous years and any interim or in-progress results from their final year. And we're also going to pay very close attention to prerequisite courses. English language proficiency tests may also be required for those whose first language is not English. In addition, standardized tests like the SAT or ACT are not typically required for Canadian universities, and many have moved to a test-optional policy, so it's a good idea to check with each individual university on their policies for this. Now, some programs may look for additional supplementary information, such as personal profiles, video interviews, portfolios, or auditions. And students are typically notified by the university if they're required to complete any supplemental applications. And letters of recommendation or reference, and personal statements or essays are typically not required in Canada. Every institution has different requirements, so it's best to research individual universities' websites for information on GPA, prerequisites, and more. So here is a general timeline of the application process. Between September and March, you should complete the first step, which is the submission of the initial application itself. Note that some universities may have early recommended application deadlines for early consideration. Between November and April, you should be working on submitting transcripts, predicted scores, test scores, supplementary applications, and any other information or required documents, as well as indicating your interest in residence. Then between December and June, you'll have a decision, and many universities operate on a rolling basis and will continue to make decisions throughout this period. During this time, many Canadian schools can also consider you for advanced standing or transfer credits for your first year if you've completed certain courses or exams such as APs, the International Baccalaureate, the French Baccalaureate, A-levels, dual degree courses, and more. Once again, it's really important to do your research on each institution to learn more about the specifics of applying to each school. So here are some additional resources that you can check out to learn more about Canadian universities, their international admission requirements, and their application processes. All to say, more and more international students are choosing to study in Canada, and with support from our provincial and federal governments, we have seen a 185% increase in international students across the country in the last decade. Most recently, there were over 498,000 post-secondary international students studying in Canada, and 96% of them recommend Canada as a study destination. Thank you for taking the time to learn why Canada might be the right choice for you. and we hope to see you here soon.